Shields up, Ironbreakers. How's everybody doing? Good morning, and welcome back to Wayfinder. Dude, yesterday was one hell of a packed day with the amount of streams we did. So today, I want chill. I think that we might even have to eventually plug in a... Oh, crap, I just realized one thing. My console's still on. Uh-oh. I did not turn my console off. Oopsie. Cause I was just like looking at my DualSense controller, because I might actually have to plug it into the PC, because I think that this bad boy is gonna run out of battery. This bad boy is running out of battery. More like you want to chill. Bro, don't even joke about that, Tummy Giggles. I've been getting so many random comments of people telling me I'm getting paid by Airship Syndicate. It's like, that's it. Nowadays, you like a video game, you're getting paid. You can't like things. You're getting paid. Why is Gaijin there? He's chilling. Leave Gaijin alone. You leave Gaijin alone, okay? Anyway. Oh, we have... Oh, whoa! That's quite a couple of quests we have here. Let's go ahead and pick up the quest from Art Warden Haas. Energy Crisis. It's hoping you return while you've been gallivanting about the Highlands, culling anchors of the gloom. Our Shrike infestation's taken a serious turn. Was not aware of this, but after speaking with my contact on these matters, it seems there's actually two factions of Shrikes here in Lower Skylight. The Azure and the Rust Red. Good luck telling them apart. They seem reluctant to color code their gear. According to the contact, the Rust Red have had the Azure in something of a stranglehold for the past 6 months. Most of the supplies taken by the Azure in Lower Skylight were supposed to be given to the Rust Red as protection money, they call it. Unfortunately for them, we took those supplies back. Yes, we did. It was me. This has caused an unforeseen problem. Without the tribute to pay the Rust Reds, the Azure are now desperate. Their only recourse is to fight back. Well, deal with it. Fight with each other. Lacking the manpower to take on the Rust Reds, those Azure fools have started drinking the god's blood that powers Skylight's machinery. They're drinking the fuel? Do you remember if the drill thing you showed in your video can be finished in the different dungeons? It's always the same. I have no idea. I've only seen that thing once. Fuel or not, God's blood is arcane in nature. Among a torrent of hallucinations, it does provide them a surge of inhuman strength. It also promptly kills them shortly after consumption. As much as I would love to see the Shrikes tear themselves apart, I cannot stand idly by while those berserkers destroy the city in the process. Besides, Skylight needs that fuel for our machinery. At Lower Skylight, recoup our God's blood reserves before any other poison themselves. If you come across any Shrikes that have already drank it, take care of them best you're able. Sure thing. Oh, it's mostly reward tower EXP. Oh, actually, I'm wondering, did I get... No, I guess I still haven't gotten this stuff. Because they said yesterday that they're sending out, like, items for the people who have the founder packs. And they might get, like, duplicate items and whatnot, but I haven't gotten any of those. Watcher Isti. Peace offering. Oi, you, the new Wayfinder, yeah? Heard a lot about you. You've been real good to the city. I hope you know we appreciate it. Alright, I'm listening. So I've got a husband, right? And we've been married for quite a few. But I only just recently became a soldier. After the big battle, I mean. You know the one. The battle for Skylight. Anyway, a soldier's life is hard, you know? 'Cause you do. Of course you do. You're a Wayfinder. But 'cause I'm a soldier, right? It means I can't come home for days at a time. I'm always on call, and I can't rightly tell him where I'm going half the time. I can tell he's been proper upset by it all, and I just want to make things right, however I can. What do you need, Hasty? I can't just abandon my post. I can't. There are bandits all over, not to mention the gloom creatures. But if you wouldn't mind fetching a few of his favorites for me. There's these flowers he's always talking about. Lost violets. Course, yeah? Those are popular these days. I've seen them grow outside of Lower Skylight. We'll need something to go with the bouquet, though. What's close by? Oh, maybe you could grab something off the Shrikes. Seen plenty of them with little trinkets, music boxes and the like. Once you've got them all, bring the goods back here and I'll write him a fancy love note and all that, you know, to sweep him off his adorable little feet. Bro, the world is literally ending and my man's just like, hey, make me a flower bouquet. That is some next level arrogance right there. If you could go ahead and just make me a flower bouquet for my lover. Yeah, let me get right on that, buddy. Waking up early for the day, was the queue bad getting on? I had like 7,000 something people ahead of me, and it took me about half an hour to log in. Give or take. Can't wait for people to come in and say, streamer queue! Yes. That's exactly what it is. Streamer queue, baby. Retrieve the god's blood. Fear the old blood. You boys just don't learn, do you? Oh wait, the volume's too loud. I'm sorry. This was because of yesterday's Armored Core stream. Sorry. I don't want to have the volume too loud. This should be okay. What's the elevator pitch for this game? It is an online character action RPG where you basically choose a character that you like, play that character, level it up, level up the weapons. It's kind of like Warframe, but in a fantasy setting. If you've played Warframe before. Whee! Boom! Also, I should start min-maxing my character a little bit more. Because I probably have better echoes by now. But I might not have enough, I might not have enough slots. Not slots, I probably have enough slots. I don't have enough of the capacity to equip some of the new stuff. This seems very MMO quest. Yeah, it is. Like, to me, the real strong suit is the dungeons. Dungeons and hunts. The MMO questing aspect, I could take it or leave it. Oh, I'm supposed to give these to Kestrel. How very convenient that I did this quest. Because now I can turn it into Kestrel. Project Revenge, tracing the past. Lord Halard needs you to find the... Okay. Noxious Betrayer, find the chemist in the pit. Okay, Energy Crisis, Peace Offering. I need to... Can I activate this? Yeah, track this one. Don't need to track the gobos. I know to kill gobos for a good long while. Okay, so how am I going to... Oh, you can actually see them in there. Good, 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 good. Takes half hour to log in, then I get kicked out after 40 minutes. Yesterday I was able to play 3 hours without getting kicked out. We'll see how it goes today, but yeah, the servers are still not... They're still not there. They've issued a formal apology. I was like half expecting one of those JPEGs. One of those JPEGs that we get nowadays for every game. They did it in text form though. Even Digital Extremes was mentioned on it though, because Digital Extremes feels like they failed the infrastructure, which I kind of feel like that was probably Digital Extremes' responsibility. Because this is the first online game that that Airship Syndicate is doing, so they were relying on Digital Extremes' infrastructure, and apparently that fell apart really fast. So I already have the stuff, the flowers that the other guy wants. Oh god, not the cyberpunk JPEG. Yeah. Now, the reason I'm getting more God's Blood is because this is not just a quest thing. This is also a resource that you use in crafting and stuff. I need to lower things on my end, too. It's a little bit loud for this early in the morning. I'm, like, tired from the sleep deprivation. This should be good. Lower it just a smidge. Yeah. I want it to be chill sounds. Servers or publishers' responsibility, usually, yes. Yeah. I wonder how many things actually require the Phoenix thing. Hopefully not too much. Like I said, the first thing I want to craft is my weapon. The Tooth and Claw. Tooth and Claw is going to hard carry this account. Just you wait. Just you wait. Okay. Let's go talk to Watcher Isti. And then we're going to go over there to Kestrel's hideout. Peace offering. Oi, thanks. You know, you're actually rather good at this. Here's the letter from my husband. His name's Holden. He's usually in Skylight around this time, though I'm not really sure where. Could you try asking one of his mates? He's one of the guys working over at Damon's Bell. And when you find Holden, make sure he knows I still adore him. Yeah, bro, anything else? Like, what the fuck? I'm trying to save the world, my guy. Like, what? Okay, here's Energy Crisis. Hello again, love. Delivering God's blood, yeah? Just take it all downstairs. Oh, almost forgot. I have a bit of a gossip for you when you get back. Seriously? Take it downstairs? Anything else you'd like? Like, what the fuck? She makes me come downstairs to put her contraband down and everything. What is this? There you are. Okay, my lovely. Answer me this. What rhymes with Badger Palms and ends in the destruction of Lower Skylight? Azure Bombs. Not your greatest pun, Kestrel. Tough crowd. Moving on. A little bird sang me a song about a couple of Azure boys who were quite zealously lugging some bombs towards the Rust Red hideout. Now, I like a good fireworks show as much as the next girl, but I can't well and good run my tavern if the city ends up in a crater, yeah? I trust you'll take care of it. Be seeing you, love. Assume Kestrel took those supplies all too eagerly. I would prefer if we didn't need to work with a former Shrike, but she knows the business better than anyone and her rates reflect it. The Azure planting bombs in the Rust Red base. Come again? What? The Rust Red hideout is half of Lower Skylight. Those fools are going to destroy our bloody city. Should have seen this coming. There's a fearsome new Shrike that's been carving his way up the ranks. They call him Grim Morningstar. Like the others, the Shrikes following him seem to care more about blood than profits. But it was only with Kestrel's information that I realized he's the new leader of the Rust Red. Seems like you're not doing your job very well. The Azure must be terrified of it if they risk something this extreme. Saw all of this Azure versus Rust Red nonsense. Wayfinder, get to the Rust Red hideout and disarm the bombs before those fools kill us all. Yeah, I'll get to that. Into the pit.
I don't like this. The Shrikes have a new leader, a abandoning a lucrative mine when Skylight needs blood? That's beyond foolish. Something is very wrong here. And we need to know what it is.
Okay.
So, Wayfinder, we've got a mystery on our hands. And you're gonna help me solve it.
I did you a favor. Tell me about the trial.
I wanted to know what's going on in the pit, and I don't have an answer yet.
I'm being manipulated.
Besides, securing the flow of God's blood is good for us all. I'm sure your friends upstairs would agree.
She's right. Skylight needs a secure source of God's blood.
Well, well. Luke has been listening to our private conversation. At least when I spy on you, I have the decency to keep quiet, Omen.
Hush. This slime, it's God's blood. Something in the gloom is animating it. Something big. If you can find that force and destroy it, Kestrel should be able to resume operations in the pit.
Splendid. You splatter the slime, I get the blood flowing again, and you get your trial. Everyone wins.
And yet, it always seems like you win just a little more than everyone else, Kestrel.
She is a smuggler. Instinct, discipline, focus. What's this? Shrikes weren't always the bottom feeders you see guzzling God's blood out there. There was a time when we were the champions of the West Reach, defying Empire and Maze alike. We didn't have the numbers or the resources of the mighty nations, but we learned how to push beyond our limits, make the most with what we had. Instinct, discipline, focus. The Vex taught us that. Oh, this is Affinity. Sometimes you need clear focus to overcome your enemy, and sometimes you need to strike blindly and trust your instincts. Master all three, and you'll be a true terror. You're fighting to save us all, so how's this? I'll show you the tricks we use to hone our skills, and you'll keep the spirit of the true Shrikes alive, yeah? This will be making a difference. It's a deal. Show me. Boom. So, do we unlock Affinity? Okay, let me see. There it is. No, I don't need to learn how this works. We also have Mastery. Okay, we don't need to look at that either. Countering after a block restores resilience. Gain 75% of your latent power. Oh, I don't have any of these that I can... Oh, I can activate this one. No, I can't. Interesting, this one doesn't tell you that you can't activate it, though. So we're still unlocking Guardian Melee, but I will probably... I don't know what latent power meter is, but I'll probably go for this one. Because I'm going to shoot for breaking enemies as much as possible. Because that, you know, essentially Windrave is playing more of a support role, so break engages is going to be a big deal. Ooh, we can choose another ability to unlock. Bro, are you kidding me? Give me my ultimate, baby. Oh, and we have one upgrade point. We have one upgrade point. I'm gonna go for extending the invulnerability field. Yeah. Beautiful. So, how many of these can I do? Okay, these just require... Oh, I have 5 points that I can put up. Okay. Now, I forget what the perks were, so let me look. Increases the healing of Healing Pulse by 20%. Healing Pulse is an additional 10%. Healing Pulse lowers ability cooldowns. Yep, this is the one. We want to get Discipline all the way up. The problem is that this requires Discipline 15. No, wait, 15? Oh, they changed it. It used to be 4. It used to be at 4 and 14. Wait, it still is 4 and 14. Why is it saying 5 and 15? That's not right. Like, look at how the UI is. There's 1, 2, no, it's 1 because the first star also counts. Never mind. It is 5 and 15. Okay. So basically, I'll have to get Discipline all the way up to max to reduce cooldowns. But this one's also one of the worst ones. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with Healing Wave. So we'll go for Instinct first. Instinct also gives us resilience, weapon power, and ability power. Everything gives us ability power, which is fan-friggin-tastic. But this one also gives us defense and crit rating. Oh god, Discipline has like the worst stat. I would have preferred maxing out Instinct. Instinct feels way better to max out than Discipline. God damn it. But then again, this is only 1 second, so maybe I'll max out Instinct, to be honest. Yeah, I might actually go after Instinct. During the earlier access that I had access to, I maxed out this. Because abilities cooldowns is really good. But I might just go full blast Instinct because it's got the better stats in my opinion. Yep. Yep. So we'll probably go... We'll still get like 4 on the other ones. To get them. But I'm probably going to go full blast Instinct. Can I get there? I don't think I will. Ooh, baby. Yes, dude. So we already have one passive. That is perfect. We're going to blast right through that. Beautiful. Okay. That sounds good. Should I mess with my echoes? What's your opinion on the game at the moment? Game's fun. Servers are broken. That's my opinion. I enjoy when I can play the game. I don't like the fact that you have to sit in the queue for God knows how long if you want to play the game. Let's sort these by power. Ivory spoon. Okay, let me actually unequip all of these. Oh, these ones actually start having slots. Nice. More echoes. Okay, so in here we have weapon power, max health, and physical defense. Ability power and resilience. Definitely want some of that. I'm assuming we can't equip more than one. Can we? Can I equip this thing 3 times? Resilience and ability power? That's pretty disgusting. Because, hey, I'll take all the ability power I can get, baby. It's that simple. But I'll probably take, like, one of this. Even though I don't care that much about weapon power. The physical defense is good. The max health is good. So I'll take, actually, tell you what. We'll take one of these, then one of these, and then another one of these. Ah, can't equip the same accessory twice. Sabotage! I guess we'll take Bracer of Memories then. Oh no, this is crit rating. Boo! Crit power and break power. No, who wants that? Come on, get real. Give me more ability power, man. There we go. Ability power, max health, and magical defense. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a world in where I get to equip 3 echoes for now. But we get 2 additional echoes, which is nice. So we're going to go into echoes here. Unequip these, and we're going to do it again. Do I have new rush echoes? That'd be great. I think I only have one still. Yeah, I only have Blood Moon. Looks like bosses are the only ones that give you echoes. We have an empty balance slot. We got 12 points. Let's sort these by power. Okay, so we can have Igor Echo, 65 ability power, meh. Blaster Echo, weapon power 200, crit rating, resilience and ability power, max health and crit, max health resilience. I'll take whichever one was the ability power one, even though it's not matching the slot. Is it matching the slot? Actually, it matches the slot, so that's nice. Then we have here. Let's once again sort by power. Blaster Echo for more weapon power. Crit rating. Weapon power. I guess for here, best bang for our buck's going to be weapon power, so I'm going to do that. Although, that's weird. Maybe I just don't have enough defensive ones. Yeah, the defensive ones aren't that great. Okay. That's fair. Wait, how much weapon power does this give me? 223? I could actually get weapon power with another stat. Yeah, because crit power, though, is bleh. We can get more break power and magical defense. Weapon power and crit power, bleh. Come on, give me something better. Nah, looks like these are all the same. Weapon power, crit power. Okay. So we'll actually keep that one. Then in here, we can use an offensive one, sort by rarity, by power. Crit rating, crit rating, crit rating, crit rating. That's disappointing. Everything is crit. I guess we're going for this instead then. There. Counting with Rurikhan. Dude, this is important. We're min-maxing our characters here. Crit rating, crit power. Max health, weapon power. Dude, everything's about the crit. Wait, I actually want capacity cost. Yeah, that's the sort that I'm looking for. That's not right, though. They're gonna... It's probably not taken into account. Okay. Anyway. Grim Morningstar's Echo. Looks like I already beat his ass at some point. That's really costly, though. It's mostly crit rating and crit power, and I don't want that. Resilience and ability power is too expensive. Well, rip. We have to do crit rating. I don't want to, but I don't have a choice. Let's actually look at these balance ones. Resilience and ability power. I'll probably grab that. Ability power 65, ability power 47. This one's already used though. I'll take this. I want ability power out the ass, my guy. How many slots do we have? Okay, so that doesn't matter. I'm just gonna grab from the all pool. Echo capacity cost. I guess more weapon power, crit power. Yeah, it's look like we're gonna go with this one. Because there's no more ability power echoes for me. No. No. Yep. Weapon power and crit. It is. Alright. That'll do us for now. Looking solid. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. Do 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 do. What do I need to use for the guy using the gun? I think it's a combination of all the offensive stats because he's a pretty offensive boy. Depends on whether you want to deal more damage with your abilities or deal more damage with the actual weapon. When it comes to Kairos, personally, I would probably go for the abilities because I like explosions, but, you know, to each their own. So, let's take a look at all these quests. Find the Stone King's Tomb. I think that this one's going to be, like, random in the dungeons. Maybe. Complete a Tracer event in Codex Halls. Find Vrek the Chemist in the Pit. Disarm bombs near the Rust Red base. We'll probably do this one. Get rid of that. Track this one. Looks like we can track quite a few quests at once, which is good. Summon a weapon at Arsenal in Skylight. Consume and control. Craft a basic elixir at Venge. I already did. Is this completed? Because I already crafted one. I'm gonna have to craft another one? I feel like I got scammed. How would Windrave be with huge ability power and weapon power stats? I mean, ability power increases the amount of heals you do. It basically powers up your abilities, right? That's why I'm doing that. So my abilities, whenever I use them, they are empowered. And then weapon power is just the damage of your basic attacks. So to me, it's like, if you want a more offensive Windrave, you probably want to shoot more for weapon power. If you want a more supporty Windrave, which is what I'm going for, you'll want more ability power. So that when I do stuff like this, it'll heal people even more. Wish me luck, gonna try to boss solo again? What boss? What are you doing? Ooh. This is not a suspicious looking bomb at all. Disarm it. You just put out the fuse. It's very advanced disarming technique. Oh snap. See ya, kid. I see you're guarding that bomb there. Windrave keeps winning. That's how this works. It's not a bomb disarmed. Let's go ahead and disarm this one. Hello! We have 2 more. I guess there's plenty of... They have more than 5. It's just a matter of you disarming 5, and the other Wayfinders will disarm the rest. I wonder if in order to find Vrek the Chemist, you also have to do random dungeons in the pit. That might be the case. Wait, what's going on here? Use Echo Matrix? What are we doing? Oh, I'm crafting this. Okay. So I'll have to go do this boss soon. You can summon him a total of 3 times. How do we do the social stuff in this game? We like add you. Oh, this guy's like finished. Let's see. Social. Your friend code. Oh, I'm friends with Sir Snarf. Ha. Oh, I think you sent me a friend code. Discord. Here, I'll hide it. Let me see. Where was it? There it is. I added you. Now let me just get this back up. Look at that. Look at how easy it was to match up with Kegrin. So I guess we have to teleport to each other's instances now, because I believe we're probably in separate instances. Now let me see. Can I see where you are? I don't think I can. Unless this is you. This might be you. So let me teleport here and see if that will bring us to the same instance. No, I can't see you. Maybe we need to exit out of Skyhole together or something. Oh, you're at the Codex Halls? Okay, then I'm... Fuck. So you're in a dungeon, is what you're saying. I can't join you in a dungeon, I don't think. Unless we queue together. If that's what you had in mind. In front of it. Okay. But I think we might have to exit together from Skylight or something, because otherwise I'm not sure if it's going to work. So you're in front of Codex Halls, you're here. Let's try this. I see Vega, Lewis Locke, not you. Let me see if there's some option in social. Player loadout, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, nothing here. Why are you playing Windrave? What the fuck? Am I playing on PC or PlayStation? I'm playing on PC, but there is crossplay. Kegran? Wait a second. You're the party leader, right? Are you gonna queue us into a dungeon? Is it inside the dungeon? No. Tell you what, try queuing us into the dungeon and see if that puts us in the same instance. We'll do a dungeon real quick, and then we'll jump in. My level right now is... I'm at 587, so anything up to like 700 should be doable. So give us something challenging. You're traveling to Skylight. God damn it. It says everyone's playing Windrave. I mean, I know Windrave stonks are the best, but not everybody needs to play Windrave. Okay, well, try teleporting to the pit when you come out of Skylight. And if you don't end up next to me, just queue us into a dungeon or something. Or promote me to leader and I'll do it if you want. Need to find 2 more bombs. Wait, is this the one? I can't see his... I think he's the Grim dude that I'm supposed to kill. Yep, Grim Morningstar. I thought I had a quest to kill this guy. So, did you teleport to the pit? Yeah, I guess it's not working. Okay, listen, make me leader. Just make me leader. There should be an option in the party thing. I think you probably just need to jump into an instance together to be able to see each other. So... Did you leave? There's no option to make me leader? Really? Oh man, that is rough. So let me see, if I press here... Yeah, there is no option to make somebody else leader. You can tell this was their first online game. So we do the pit at difficulty sphere 2. 590. That should be fine. Oh, I don't have a lot of things. Okay, we're just gonna enter here at level. Oh god. No, I messed it up. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. Okay. Oh shit. That's it, Kegrin. You're getting disconnected. Back to the queue with you. Let's hope not. Oh shit! I got all of my items. I can play Venomous now. Nice. Alright. Looks like we're in with some other player. So let's complete this dungeon real quick, and then we'll, then we should be in the same instance when we exit out. Oh wait, there is a thing here. Why can I not... Damn it. I can't click this one, so we're not supposed to go that way, but the other player was able to. I guess you have to activate them in the reverse before you get to do that. He already activated the thumper. I think we joined in midway through somebody else's dungeon. Yeah, now we can do it. Well, I can't. Oh, it's only one player at a time? But fine. Oh, God! Okay. I'm moving out of the AoEs. There you go. It's that poison. That did way more damage than I expected. That must be the multiplayer scaling. This is going to be a game that's going to end up kind of like Remnant in terms of it's going to actually be harder to play it in co-op. So they're probably going to have to do more player incentives or something. Jesus, I'm getting fucking shredded. It's probably Kegrin's fault because he's level 4 fucking teen. Like, what the fuck, bro? What's wrong with you? Level 14. I'm like level 6. Too low level for this instance. Kegrin's like, oh, I played a little bit. Level 14. Skill issue. Agreed. The dungeon you put us in? Yeah, but I think it's scaling that harshly because of you. Although it's not like it's my dungeon, it's this dude's dungeon, Leo Truwin. I already did the old kite quest. Well, I didn't do it, I activated it. Oh yeah, these dudes are level 8. No wonder they're shredding me. And it's gloom touched. That's why this dungeon's going crazy. It's a gloom touch dungeon. I can't see my ability cooldowns for some reason. That's a little bit annoying. That's the first time I've experienced that bug. But yeah, Kegrin, you noticed how the moment I taunt the monsters, you basically become invulnerable because you're spamming daggers? If I taunt the monsters, you're invulnerable. Because you can just spam daggers and you lifesteal. It's disgusting. Oh, shoot. Guess this was just a bonus thing. We're supposed to be headed this way. Man, not being able to see your abilities is really bad. I wonder what happened there. Because, like, I never know when an ability is up, so I don't know if I can reliably use it or not. The game is up and running, yes. This is actual gameplay. And I'm playing co-op with Kegrin, who's on PlayStation 5. Pathway is clear. Gotta be careful with all that poison goop that jumps out of him. Nothing here, it seems. More rewards. Are these for everyone? Or is it just for him? I guess only one people gets to use the thumper thing? There's items up there. Phoenix event? Where? Oh, I didn't see it. Yes, I want that. I don't know how many of them I need, but the Phoenix event is, I've only seen it twice now. Whoops. It's getting a little bit too spicy. Oh, I can't see how many potions I have either. God damn, all of my interactables are glitched. I might as well not have a UI. Treasure Phoenix Downs +2. Nice. So you do get more rewards for being in multiplayer, I think. Because last time I only got one for that. Then again, this is also higher difficulty dungeon, so that could be why. Might get kicked out of game because it's on PS5. No. I don't believe you. Maybe I'm wrong. There's stuff up here that we should get, by the way. No! Get up there! What the hell? I did this in the previous build. Oh, I guess you can't do it anymore? Ah, there it is. Looks like it's just one item, though. Nailed it. Okay, team, time to win.
Get behind me.
This attack non-stop. You're both invincible. And that is why I play Windrave. You just come up to a boss and be like, well, we're invincible now. Just ignore mechanics. We're invincible. All right. Travel failed? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fuck! I hate you, Kegrin. This is your fucking fault. God damn it. God damn it. Let's do a boss together. It'll be fun. God damn it. God damn. Oh shit. It's actually busted. Like, look at this. The worst part, I think it was our fault, Kegrin. We blew up the servers. We must have been the first two people trying to crossplay into an instance. We blew up the servers. It was me and Kegrin, because, like, listen, it happened exactly when we were traveling. It was 100% us. We broke the game for everyone. Oh, no! We broke the game for everyone. Yeah, sorry, guys. You guys were having too much fun. I had to come in and let you guys know that you can't be having this much fun. I'm gonna tell Sir Snarf. Sorry. Sorry. It was me. I broke the game. Oh god, dude. I can't queue even. How are you queuing, Kegrin? I can't, like, look at this. Oh god. How are people getting in queue? I broke the game so bad I can't even do it. You sat here a bit with this and then it worked? Okay. Epilepsy warning, I guess. Here, I'll just put this here. so that you guys don't have to deal with the epilepsy stuff. Stop the game, check for integrity, restart. I don't think that's going to fix it. I did an integrity check yesterday. I can do another one today, but... God damn. We're actually having a good time, man. Same issue on PS5. Yeah, I'm going to very quickly check the integrity of the files. We'll see how that pans out. My desktop's a mess. I wanted to play this game like a degenerate. Absolute degenerate. Anyway, for those of you that missed out on this, Airship Syndicate has put out a message from the team. An update from Airship Syndicate and Digital Extremes. Message from the team. Yesterday sucked. This was posted yesterday, so they're talking about launch day. Okay, this is not today, this is launch day. Yesterday sucked. There's no other way to say it. It sucked for people who purchased Founders Packs. Give me just a second. I need to move this window so that I can see what's happening. It's here. Yesterday sucked. There's no other way to say it. It sucked for people who purchased Founders Packs and couldn't play. Sucked for us to see players unable to get into the game after believing in us and our vision. Early access isn't a crutch. It's a conversation between a studio and a community that's helping build the game alongside the studio. We said from the start we'd be transparent and open with the community, and that continues now that we have players entrusting us with their money and us failing to deliver. Servers and login. Although we ran into technical tests and betas across multiple regions, we were seeing more players every minute than played in our beta each day. Okay, looks like this thing is done. So just keep that in mind. Every minute, they were getting more players than they had in the entire beta, which is fucking ridiculous. If you're on PC, you can only play with PC players, not PS5 players, until they fix the game. Okay, I guess I'll have to turn off crossplay then. That might be something that we need to do. Let's hope that the thing isn't exploding now, though. Okay, it's not. Yeah, it is. So let me very quickly just disable. Yes. I'm going to disable cross-platform. Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, that fixed it. It was definitely the PlayStation thing. Oh, wow. Oh, damn, that hurts. Yep. There it is. There it be. There it be. Let me very quickly... Anyway, we might as well go through this whole thing from beginning, and I'll tell you guys my thoughts, but let's get to it. Wait, if I exit out, can I not put you in windowed mode? We'll keep this here. And that way I can go through the thing and still have music. Anyway, an update from Airship Syndicate and Digital Extremes. Yesterday sucked. There's no other way to say it. It sucked for people who purchased Founders Packs and couldn't play. It sucked for us to see players unable to get into the game after believing us in our vision. Early access isn't a crutch. It's a conversation between a studio and the community that's helping build the game alongside the studio. We said from the start we'd be transparent and open with the community, and that continues now that we have players entrusting us with their money and us failing to deliver. Although we ran technical tests and betas across multiple regions, we were seeing more players every minute than played with our beta each day. So every single minute there were more players trying to log into the game than for every single beta day, which is, yeah, That's pretty much the definition of being overwhelmed. Although we had a queue system ready, that system failed immediately. We quickly implemented numerous fixes to try and stabilize the login experience, and those failed as well. We ended up having to put a cap on the players that were on this server, which was less than ideal and resulted in the maximum player limit reached error last night. Then they also have an update from Digital Extremes. At early access launch, severe server login issues led to many players not being able to connect or play. We know and value your trust and apologize for the shaky beginning. As players ourselves, we know the disappointment many are feeling. We apologize. We know players have high expectations of Digital Extremes infrastructure to deliver in moments like this. And in this instance, we, as the publisher, fell short. We're committed to ensuring long-term stability through the early access period. We're thankful for the enthusiasm and interest of our community, and for your continued patience as we close in on a permanent solution. So an interesting thing is, due to the fact that we even have like straight up a message from Digital Extremes, this doesn't even appear to be Airship Syndicate's fault. If Digital Extremes are the ones coming up in front of this and saying like, hey, our servers exploded, things are bad, we're sorry. It kind of feels like Airship Syndicate is just like, hey, we made a game, you guys handle the server side, and Digital Extremes are like, yep, we got the server side. And then they're like, okay, we're launching the game. They're like, go for it. And then they launch the game, and Digital Extremes is like, our servers are on fire, guys. We're sorry. It's like, oh no. We realized that buying something and not being able to actually log in and play, frankly, is a bad look. One solution we heard often was that we should have offered pre-sales to gauge interest. Unfortunately, some first-party stores do not allow pre-sales of early access, and we were unable to meet demand. Currently, the game's login queue is functioning, as you can see right here. Sitting in a queue isn't actually being in-game and playing, but it's allowing a trickle of players in as we continue to up capacity across all regions, and that has been successful. We'll continue to make optimizations to the queue and servers in the coming days and weeks until all players are in and playing. Founders Packs issues. We're also aware that a small portion of players did not get their Founders Pack items. We just got ours as we jumped into the dungeon, so now I can actually try out Venomous, which I wasn't able to before. We are aware of this issue, and although it affects a small portion of players, it is a priority to make sure that our founders get their items. A lot of the missing items are related to the back-end server issues, and unfortunately we can't provide a better update right now until we have more stability. Again, Founders Packs are you entrusting us, and we didn't deliver. Please contact support at play.zendesk.com. I'll copy paste this. If anybody still doesn't have their founders items and you want to get those, that's how you do that at this time, so we can collect your information as we work towards a solution. Monetization. We also saw a conversation around some of our bundle prices being just shy of items in our store. We agree that is not player friendly. We're revisiting this pricing so that they are 1,000 rune silver and will retroactively grant the difference for anyone that has paid for any of these weapons. That's a pretty fast turnaround. Like, the game's been out not even for 2 days almost, and they're like, oh, you guys don't like the monetization? Okay, we're changing it. This was like one of the hot topic items that a lot of people were talking about in my stream, and the way that I felt about it is I think it is not particularly good. I think it's a bad look. But I also said, in my opinion, it's like, if it's not fun to grind for the items, I'm not going to buy them anyway, so I don't give a fuck. But ultimately, for people that want to buy these items, it's a good thing that they're making the bundle prices more fair. Because this is, I mean, the thing is, when it comes to these types of things, I've thought that this is just the industry standard. That's what everybody does. Literally everybody does that. The whole thing about like, oh, you can buy 1,000, but then the weapons cost 1,050. Like, I know for a fact that Blizzard does that in all of their games. Like Overwatch, Diablo 4, all of that, they all do that shit. But, you know, in here they're just like, no, we're changing it. Boom, done. Player compensation. Players lost valuable time waiting to get into the game or taking days off to play. That sucks. We're currently working on our plans for compensating those purchased into early access, whether they got into the game or not. So there's actually going to be some form of compensation. I'm assuming this is probably going to be like a cosmetic or something, or maybe an additional battle pass or whatever. I don't really see it being much more. I mean, even a battle pass, I feel like that's a ton or something like that, because you're basically giving it to both people who were able to play and people who weren't able to play. But it's a good thing that, like, at the end of the post are like, listen, we get it, we fucked up, we're looking to make it right. Whereas a lot of companies that I've seen, they're like, yeah, we fucked up, too bad, deal with it. At least in here, they're like, hey, look, we fucked up, we're going to make it right. We'll see whether or not the compensation makes it worth it, but yeah. Yesterday proved that Wayfinder has an audience, but we must take action to meet the demand that audience deserves. First and foremost, that involves us fortifying our underlying platform and technology to deliver our vision for an online world for friends. It's about winning back our players' trust through actions and not words, and it's about getting the game into a playable state for all. Oh yeah, I agree, Mr. Tummy Giggles. I don't like secondary currencies. And in this case, like, in Warframe, you can use the secondary currency to, like, trade with other players, but you can't do that in Wayfinder. I don't think. I don't think that's a thing. Could be wrong. Don't know. How many people are even playing the game? I know Steam has about 22,000 in the charts read last night. Yeah, and half of those are sitting in queue. Half of those players are doing this. Imagine we get the custom title called Wayfinder. What's the online part of this game? Do you encounter other players while playing? Yes. So, important thing, turn off crossplay. Wait, crossplay can be turned off? Yes, in settings. So I would recommend for now, until the team has had more time to figure out how they're doing things, turn off crossplay. You should just turn off crossplay entirely. Lesson learned, you can't play with your friends. Not if they're in a different platform. It kind of sucks. Because, like, one of the big things about this is that, A, cross-platform is great, crossplay is great, but yeah, you can't do it right now. I don't know why it needs to be on Epic if it's on Steam. Why does it bother you that it's on Epic? Like, what's the big deal? It's on Steam. What's the big deal if it's also on Epic? It's a big deal when it's on Epic, but not on Steam. That I get. I understand that part. But if it's already on Steam, who cares if it's on Epic? It's strange it's on 2 launchers. No, it's on 2 platforms. Should I buy the 130 edition? I bought the base. I mean, play the base. You have 6 months to get the 130 edition. You have 6 months to decide if you want to or not. My recommendation is just play the base version and see if you like it. Didn't they test the servers? They just I just read it in here. Like where was it? Although we ran technical tests and betas across multiple regions, we were seeing more players each minute than played our betas each day. That's a full day's worth of testing in a minute. They tested the servers, but the demand was way too great. Which, by the way, in case you guys weren't aware, this thing reached number 3 on Steam charts. Fucking wild. Yeah, I think the approximate wait time, I think that potentially they turned it off because the calculations themselves might have been causing problems with the server. I just feel bad for the game's review. It's going to be a long recovery. True. It's going to be, I mean, the thing about games like this in early access, it's going to be a marathon. It's not a sprint. That's the thing. This is going to be a marathon and not a sprint. So right now, they're probably going to coast until Season 2. And then in Season 2, they really need to bring their A game. Like, obviously, they still need to fix the servers and get everybody that wants to play in. They need to compensate the people with whatever the plan is they have for compensating players. But, yeah, like, their initial shot was taken. And it was a bad one. It was a bad one. They weren't ready. Now it's all about next season, I feel like. This honestly might kill the game for good. No, I think you're exaggerating there. I think if the team sticks with it, they might be able to bring it back around. So I asked my brother to get my game going yesterday while I was at my job. Then he picked Niss as a character. Oh no! That overwhelmingly negative on Steam will be there for a while. True. Now you get to play Niss. Congratulations. I hear she's really good. A lot of people are excited. I really want to work on Venomous, but I don't know where to start. I mean, the easiest way to get Venomous, considering that I feel like everybody that buys the early access, you should have access to the Battle Pass, is you just do the Battle Pass. Like, just straight up do the Battle Pass. Because, like, if you go to the Reward Tower, you can get Venomous's parts pretty easily. Oh, I can't see the actual tower in here. Oh, I thought I'd be able to interact with the tower itself. Well, like, yeah, you can get Venomous's parts fairly easily. So basically just play the game and then use the keys to unlock her parts in the tower. That's what I'd do. It is Wargreed. That's been confirmed. Heroic Kairos is very much like Excalibur Prime. It's going to be only for founders. I could only find venomous skins, not actual parts. What do you mean? The first thing you get in the thing is a venomous part, Kegrin. The very first piece you get in the tower is a venomous part, and then in the second floor there's another one. If you're unless you mean like in game, I'm talking about the reward tower. All the venomous parts are at the battle pass? Yes, but you can also... It is my understanding you can also grind them in-game. So you don't need the battle pass to make venomous, I don't think. I'm not sure. But the battle pass will make it easier. In the battle pass you get venomous for free. No. In the paid battle pass you get venomous for free. Yes. Free battle pass is only one part. I've seen it yesterday. I was going over it yesterday and I saw her parts there. I saw her parts in the battle pass, all of them. Like, listen, the battle pass is not just this base floor. There's multiple floors. There's like 5 floors of rewards that you get with the battle pass. That's why it's a reward tower. You climb it. And I want to say all of the parts were there. I can check once we get back in game. How can I use the Wayfinder tokens? I think it's in the store. You go to the store and you pop your Wayfinder token in there. Rurikhan, I'm going to use you as a Q alert while I do some cleaning since we're one place apart. Okay, I'll be sure to scream. Can I just rush through the tower and go back for checking the good rewards after? Yep. You can just, like, beeline the different parts that you want for Venomous, and then you can branch out to get the other things that you want at a later date. Because remember, the reward tower does not expire once you own it. You have it forever, so it doesn't matter. I think I may actually go and grab some lunch while we wait. I think that's the smart thing to do. Instead of just like... I'll probably play the Choose Your Wayfinder video for you. While I'm out. Let me see what I can make happen here. Second. Yeah, this will be enough time for me to cook up some lunch quick. Now, one thing that would be good is if I was able to... This. We can do even better, can't we? It's whatever. That way you'll know that I'm still waiting to get in queue. I will hide this. Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Wave. So this is going to be just while I go. I'm going to go fix up lunch while we're waiting for the queue. So you guys can still see the progress of the queue, and I will be right back. We'll probably still be in queue by the time I get back. Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about I'll be right back, team. More specifically, we're going to be taking a bit of a deeper dive into each of the Wayfinders that are going to be available to you in the first season of the game. Now, for those of you that are not aware, Wayfinders are essentially classes in this game. They're also characters in their own right, but essentially when you choose a Wayfinder, you are choosing your class. You are choosing a specific playstyle. And earlier this week, I was given a chance to actually play an even earlier version of the game, and I got to play all of these characters at max level, and therefore I have a basic understanding of how they're supposed to work. Now, it is also important that I had a very limited amount of time to do this, so it doesn't mean that I'm going to get everything 100% right, but hopefully I'll be able to provide to you what is the design intent of how these characters should be played. However, it is also important to mention that you can really make your Wayfinder your own because of the way that this game works, because of the way that you can mess around with their stats, using things like echoes, changing around the weapons that they can use, because every Wayfinder can use every single weapon in the game. And therefore, I'm going to give you guys what is their basic playstyle, their most vanilla playstyle with their signature weapons, but there is a lot of room for experimentation with these characters. Now, before we begin, I would like to thank Airship Syndicate for giving me access to this earlier build of the game so that I could go ahead and work on this content for you. But let's go ahead and begin. One of the things that I would like to start by talking about is the different stats that each character has, because an understanding of what these stats are is going to help you understand what is the design intent between each of the characters. So the stats currently in the game are max health. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is the maximum health that your character can have. It is resilience. Now, resilience is a little bit harder to explain if you've played Dark Souls. Resilience is almost like a measure of poise. Also, in some games, you call it hyper armor. So basically, when you get hit, you're going to take damage, but you're also going to take damage to your resilience. And so long as you still have resilience, you can keep on going. You can basically tank through the attack, even though you take the damage, your character's not going to stagger. When you run out of resilience, your character is going to get staggered and it is going to interrupt your attacks and abilities and stuff like that. So that is the importance of resilience. Then you have weapon power. This is going to be the damage that you're going to be dealing with your basic attacks of your weapon, because there are more than just the basic attacks, but this is just weapon power, straight up auto attack damage almost. Your ability power, which is how much power your abilities are going to have, so the damage that your abilities are going to do. Each Wayfinder has 4 abilities that they can do. The higher this number is, the more damage those abilities are going to do. Your crit rating, which is essentially the chance to score a critical hit. Your crit power, which is how much damage that critical hit is going to do. And then your break power, this is your capacity to break the resilience of the enemies, because certain enemies are also going to have resilience. Your physical defense, pretty self-explanatory, defense against physical attacks. And your magical defense, once again, pretty self-explanatory, your defense against magical attacks. So, at the beginning of the game, you're going to be able to choose between 3 Wayfinders. They're going to let you play with these 3 Wayfinders to really get a feel for how they play, and then you're going to be asked to make a choice. This is because once you choose that Wayfinder, that becomes your main class, and you will be expected to play that class until you unlock your next Wayfinder, because the purpose of the game is to basically unlock more and more Wayfinders so that you can experience different playstyles. So the first Wayfinders that you're going to be able to select are going to be Silo, Windrave, and Niss. And these are your basic 3 starters, so we're going to be tackling these first, and then we're going to be talking about the ones that you will be able to craft later. Now, in order to make these Wayfinders a little bit easier to understand, I'm going to try and assign to each of these characters a World of Warcraft class. It's never really going to be a one-to-one thing, but it should instantly paint a mental image of what you can expect from each of the Wayfinders. So, let's get things started. When it comes to Silo, my closest analogy is going to be the World of Warcraft Hunter, even though this is very much like one of those comparisons that, like I said, it's not really a one-to-one. It's just supposed to give you a little bit of perspective. Now, this character's passive is going to be Strategic Advantage. Now, Strategic Advantage says it deals 10% bonus melee and ranged standard shot damage to enemies that are debuffed, slow, burning, poison, stun, etc. Now, the Silo character is capable of inflicting the slow debuff as well as the burning debuff, but that's pretty much where it ends. It has a bunch of abilities that can give you these debuffs. As a matter of fact, it has an ability which puts down oil in the ground, and then you can throw another bomb and the oil explodes and becomes like flames. And it's really good because you basically prime the enemies with oil, then you burst it open and there's tons of burning damage, good stuff. So they get burned and slowed, and you basically stack these bonuses up, and it's really, really nice. But a very cool thing about strategic advantage, in my opinion, is that it kind of tells you, oh, Silo is probably going to synergize pretty well with another Wayfinder, which is Venomous, because Venomous is also capable of inflicting debuffs on enemies, particularly the poison debuff. So then you'd be able to also get your strategic advantage character passive just by the fact that Venomous is poisoning things, therefore you are dealing more damage. Now pay attention that in the case of Silo, it says that this 10% bonus damage is both to melee and ranged, because like I mentioned previously, any Wayfinder can equip any weapon that they want. Now by default, you're going to be seeing in the gameplay that I'm playing with a gun, because that is usually when you see artwork of Silo, he is using a gun. However, when I was playing the early access build, I was actually running him with sword and shield, and it was actually pretty effective. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to make it my objective to run every single Wayfinder with sword and shield, because that's just fun to me. But anyway, that's his character passive. That's kind of like what you can expect from Silo. I feel like his kit is all about debuffing enemies with slow and burning. And he's also got a skill that is a taunt gizmo that essentially can taunt enemies to keep you safe. So if you feel like you're in a tight spot, a bunch of enemies are swarming you, and because you are a little bit on the squishy side, you're going to pop out this taunt and you can get away and you can keep dishing out damage. Now, whenever it comes to choosing echoes for this character, I would say that your priority in terms of stats is probably going to be both ability power and weapon power, because this is a DPS character, and it seems like these are the most obvious choices. Here are his stats. I'm going to be reading them out because I know that some people consume my content on the second screen. But in terms of max health, you're looking at 531. It is important to mention that the stats that I have on Silo, they have Affinity included. That means some of the stats are a little bit higher than they would have been, because I did mess around with this character with the customization options and all that stuff. But this should give you a fairly reasonable idea of what to expect from him. So his max health 531, resilience 1311, weapon power 1711, ability power 1711. As you can see, these are pretty balanced out. You also have crit rating at 1928, which is pretty good. Crit power at 1900, also very good. So you might also want to put some crit stuff on this character as well. That'll be very nice. You have 722 break power, which actually makes him reasonable at dishing out some break power. And then you have 2,448 physical defense and 1,083 magical defense. So that is Silo. He is actually one of the characters that I really, really enjoy. But that's what I think about him, and you will have seen some gameplay footage in the background. Hopefully this helps you decide if this is one of the Wayfinders that you want. Next up, we have Windrave. Now, this is most likely going to be my main Wayfinder for the foreseeable future. When it comes to a class comparison, the closest thing I would get to in World of Warcraft would be a combination of both a Holy and Protection Paladin, because he both works as a tank as well as a healer. Now, when it comes to his character passive, it is called the Healing Pulse, and basically what it does is that melee finishers heal Windrave and one nearby allies. Now, due to the fact that this specific character passive specifies that you need to do a melee finisher, and you might be wondering, the hell's a melee finisher? Well, you know, your melee attacks have combos, which I believe is like 4-hit combos, so a melee finisher will be the final hit of that combo. And because you only get the Healing Pulse from melee finishers, you most likely do not want to be running Windrave with a ranged weapon. However, it is possible to do it if you want to, but it's probably going to be a very unconventional build that is not going to be taking advantage of one of the main defining characteristics of the character, so keep that in mind. When it comes to his abilities, Windrave also has a taunt that applies lifesteal. So basically you taunt enemies and all those enemies now give lifesteal to anybody that attacks them. So you're healing people by doing melee finishers, then you're also healing people whenever you pop your taunt because it puts a lifesteal on the enemies. You're also taking the role of a tank because you are taunting enemies towards you. There is, however, a cooldown on the taunt ability, wherein I don't believe the intended design is for you to go ahead and just keep everything taunted at all times. There are going to be times where enemies are going to be targeting your allies. There's not going to be anything that you can do about that other than heal your allies to ensure that they survive. He also has an AoE attack that works as a burst heal. So if you hit a bunch of enemies, a bunch of people in your party are going to be getting healed by the attack that you just did. And in my opinion, when it comes to stats, I believe that he is mostly going to be benefiting from ability power, because that is going to boost the amount of healing that you're going to be putting out, as well as defensive stats to ensure that you survive tanking whenever you are taunting enemies to, help your teammates survive. However, this does not mean that you can't build Windrave as a damage dealer. You definitely can. You can choose to use different weapons. You can choose like a ton of different things that you can do on this character, and he is actually very versatile. Although, like I said, I would recommend at least build him with a melee weapon because of his healing pulse thing. Now, when it comes to Windrave's stats at level 30, like I said, keep in mind that Affinity is tweaking the stats a little bit, but he's got max health 1465. I believe he has the highest max health of any character. He's got 1600 resilience, 1700 weapon power, 2000 ability power. Like I said, some of that is coming from power rating. He's got 1400 crit rating, which is okay, but his crit power is very low at 300, so you're probably not going to be pumping a whole lot into crit when it comes to this character. He's got 602 break power. He's actually pretty decent at breaking shields. He's got physical defense of 4000. He's a tank. And he's got magical defense of 1800. Windrave, I think, is going to be a ton of fun for me, and he is going to be my main for quite some time. So next, let's talk about Niss. Now, if I had to come up with a class comparison for her, I think that the closest thing is going to be the Havoc Demon Hunter in World of Warcraft, and that is because of her mobility. She has a ton of mobility, which makes sense because her character passive is Lingering Shadow, which says after dodging, you gain ability power for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Now, the build of the game that I played didn't really specify how much ability power you gain, so I don't know exactly how beneficial this is, but naturally it does tell you that, hey, we expect you to dodge with this character quite a bit. On top of it, she has quite a few abilities that also give her things when she dodges, so that when she dodges, it might spawn like an additional attack that will hit enemies that are close to her. And she even has one of her main abilities is basically a dash that she goes through a bunch of enemies and deals damage to them. As a matter of fact, her ultimate basically allows her to use that ability infinitely for the duration of the ultimate buff, which is pretty friggin' beefy if you ask me. Like, I remember killing a boss by basically just spamming him with that, and it was really satisfying. But yeah, she is one of those characters that is all about just darting in and out of combat and just dishing out damage and getting out. She's like the ultimate glass cannon. Now, you can build her, like I said, very much like with all of the other Wayfinders. You can give her a ranged weapon if you want, which is actually pretty good because her stats would actually support that playstyle if you choose to do so. So, let's take a look at those stats. When it comes to max health, she's got 908, which is actually pretty good. It's better than, say, for instance, Silo, who's sitting at 500 and something, if I remember correctly. She's got 1300 resilience, but where she really shines is on the offensive stats. I mean, just look at those bad boys. 2200 weapon power, 2400 ability power, 2000 crit rating, 2000 crit power. Those are her beefiest stats, and it's all about the damage. The problem is, as you start getting lower, her break power is not impressive, 361. So this is how easy it is for her to break through the yellow gauge on the enemies. But then again, the other problem is physical defense and magical defense are not impressive either, 700 and 800 respectively. So you have to keep that in mind. She is going to be very much a glass cannon, but like I said, her whole kit revolves around her darting in and out of combat and dodging and doing that type of playstyle. So if that sounds appealing, that is something that you can do. But do keep in mind, even though she gains additional ability power for 5 seconds whenever she dodges, with stats like these, I would argue that you can even make her like a ranged weapon power character with a lot of crit, and you can just kill enemies with basic attacks if that is something that you would enjoy doing. She can be one hell of a gunman, I would wager. But again, I didn't really have that much time to experiment, right? But, you know, here are her stats. My advice is, if you want to just play her like in a vanilla way, I would go for a mix between weapon power, ability power, crit rating, and crit power. I would go for all 4 stats and try to get those as high as possible. Maybe even emphasize the crit on a little bit much because, emphasize the crit a little bit more because of her thing being darting in and out. You want to make sure that you dish out as much damage as possible, and crits would really help there, I feel like. But, you know, this is still very much early impressions, And those are my thoughts on Niss, which is actually not a character that I'm particularly proficient with, but hopefully that helps you understand how this Wayfinder plays out. Okay, so Kairos. This one is probably one of the hardest class comparisons because the closest thing that I came up with is maybe the Devastation Evoker, and even then I didn't really play that class very much, so I don't know if that's accurate. The whole thing about Kairos is that he is a character that feels like he is one of those that you want to use his abilities as often as you possibly can. So in a way, he is a caster, and his abilities have like medium range. So he's not really someone that is going to be shooting things from across the screen. He wants to be kind of a little bit in the middle of the action, but not like knee deep in it. You want to get in there, get some of your abilities off, then back up and maybe recover your abilities, then go in there and get some more damage in. So it feels like he is designed for burst damage. Now, if we take a look at his character passive, it is Arcane Fragments, which basically says Arcane Fragments grant extra charges of Savage Rake. Savage Rake is one of his main abilities, and it seems like his whole kit is around getting more Savage Rake. Like if you continue reading this, you generate Arcane Fragments by using Siphon Radiant, which is another ability that is very much an AoE ability. It captures a bunch of enemies with these tendrils and gets arcane fragments so that you regenerate more charges of Savage Rake so that you can use Savage Rake more often, and Savage Rake is just like a big damage dealer on your kit. On top of it, you also gain additional arcane fragments when you land combo finishers and from various ability upgrades. So certain abilities, when you upgrade them, they will also generate additional arcane fragments so that you can use your Savage Rake even more often, which, like I've been saying, it's kind of like a mid-range ability. It's not really melee, but it's pretty close to melee. So he is a caster. He is designed around burst damage. And in my opinion, you'll probably want to stack a bunch of ability power. Now, the stats that I'm showing you for this character are for Heroic Kairos, because I figured, hey, might as well show the stats for Heroic Kairos, since that's something that a lot of people are going to be curious about, because they'll want to eventually compare these with the stats of base Kairos. And then I forgot to take a screen grab of base Kairos, so sorry about that. But anyways, his stats are max health 924, resilience 571, weapon power 2800, ability power 3000. I'm not giving you exact numbers, just like close numbers, right? Crit rating 1900, crit power 1900, so you can also build him a little bit of crit. But in my opinion, I wouldn't emphasize too much on the weapon power. I would go straight after ability power, because it really does feel like a lot of his damage is going to be coming in from abilities, so that will give him more damage overall. But, you know, these again, early impressions. Through the gameplay, it should give you an idea of how this character actually plays, and through this analysis of his stats. He actually has decent break power, coming in at 778, and he has 865 physical defense, which is not impressive, but he does have a ton of magical defense. So, you know, so long as you can avoid those physical attacks, staying alive shouldn't really be too much of a problem against magic. But that is Kairos. Like I said, burst hero, burst damage, a lot about ability power. Next up, we have Senja, and for class comparison, I would bring up the Arms Warrior in World of Warcraft. This is a character that is all about dishing out damage with her weapon, in my personal opinion, from what I've seen so far. However, this is also a character that is going to be somewhat tricky to play. It is going to require you to be very cognizant of openings that you have because of the way her character passive works. And her character passive is Crowd Favorite. Holding input for Gladiator Pummel and Gain Favor abilities, these are two of her abilities, will cause Senja to showboat. While showboating, she cannot be staggered, takes reduced damage, and increases the crowd's favor. Crowd's favor is an additional gauge that shows up in the middle of the screen. You guys will be able to see that in the gameplay that I'm showing in the video right now. As the crowd's favor increases, Senja gains weapon power and ability power. Now, in my opinion, Senja is going to be a character that you'll definitely want to build around weapon power, as well as probably some defense, because sometimes she is going to be taking damage while you are showboating in order to gain the crowd favorite gauge levels that are going to increase your weapon even further. You might be wondering, well, crit would be really good there as well, right? Well, that is actually a bit of a problem when it comes to Senja, because if we take a look at her stats, you'll see that her max health is 804. Not particularly impressive, but she does have a ton of defense down below to compensate for that. But her resilience is also very high, which means she can tank a lot of hits without necessarily being staggered. Her weapon power is, so resilience is at 1800. Her weapon power is at 1800 as well. Her ability power is at 704, so her abilities are not going to be hitting that hard. And her crit rating is also quite low, coming in at 421. Now, the reasoning why, I'm assuming, is because she gets a lot of break power. She's going to be one of the best characters at busting open the yellow gauge of enemies. That's kind of like her niche, it seems like. So she's going to be very useful at getting the rest of your party to deal a ton of damage if she plays her cards right, because the whole point is going to be you break the yellow gauge, everybody else in your party deals a ton of damage. You're also dealing damage, sure, but breaking the yellow gauge would be one of her main things, in my opinion. Coming in with that break power of 1300. Now, like I said, crit rating quite low, 421. Crit power is okay-ish at 1200. And then her physical defense, 4000, very high, obviously. And her magical defense is no slouch either, coming in at 2600. So she's pretty decent at taking a hit, and on top of it, you also have the additional damage reduction from showboating, because whenever she's doing the delayed inputs with the showboat and all of that stuff, she also takes less damage. So she can kind of be somewhat tanky. Also, it's important to mention that her, what's it called? Her gain favor ability is also a taunt, so she can taunt stuff off of the rest of your party. But do keep in mind, her max health is not particularly impressive, so you might want to run with a healer in your party if you are doing maybe some high-level content with Senja, or if you're planning on doing that. You know, again, early impressions and all that, just judging from the stats and what I've played of the character so far. But yeah, that's pretty much the way to go for Senja. Like I said, I would shoot for a lot of weapon power, because she's going to be benefiting a lot from that whenever she fills up that gauge. Ability power, I wouldn't slouch on it, but I wouldn't like necessarily go too out of my way to get ability power, because her abilities don't even deal that much damage to begin with. They're mostly there, I feel like, to power your weapon damage, because you even get benefits from when you use these abilities if you put enough points into them. When you use the abilities, you gain attack damage bonuses for your weapon power, so it just feels like stacking weapon power for this one is probably going to be the way to go. But again, early impressions, all of that. You guys have seen some gameplay. Hopefully this will help you decide if Senja is the one for you. And finally, Venomous. Now, Venomous is actually a character that I really like. When it comes to character comparisons, I think that the closest thing that I can think of is the WoW Resto Druid. But again, this is very much one of those things that's just like, it's kind of like that in some ways, but in a lot of ways, it's actually quite unique. Now, do keep in mind that when I talk about World of Warcraft classes, just to give you a general vibe of what you can expect from this class, it's not necessarily a one-to-one thing, which is why I'm bringing all of this other context to the table. Now, when it comes to her character passive, it is Master of Venoms. Weapon hits apply venom, dealing damage over time and stacking up to 5 times. Weapon hits against enemies with 5 stacks of venom create a poison cloud that deals damage and applies more stacks of venom. So this is basically like, I poison everybody. Everybody gets poisoned by me. So there's a lot of damage over time. Now the thing is, with a lot of her abilities, damage over time also ends up healing herself as well as her allies with heals over time. It's not a direct every single poison heals, but a ton of the poisoning that she does will get converted into healing for your party. And that is actually really, really cool. And what I've played of Venomous...
Holy crap, that guy in the video really knows what he's talking about, am I right?
One of the Wayfinders that I really, really like. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to tell you guys what my favorite Wayfinders are at the end of the video, but Venomous, I really, really had a blast playing her. Now, in this video,
he
you're
sounds
gonna be
like a
seeing me
smart
play
guy.
her with a rifle, but when I actually played her for fun, I was playing her with Sword and Shield, and surprisingly enough, it was actually working. I was surprised. I was like, oh, I expected to have to shoot things with a gun with this class, but no. You really can just play it Sword and Shield. I don't know if it's viable in actual endgame, like super challenging content, but for the stuff that I was doing, it was working just fine, and it was a ton of fun. Now, looking at her stats, you got one of the lowest healths in the business at 482, but you do have a decent chunk of resistance at 1400. Her weapon power clocks in at 1800, and her ability power is going to be 2400, so you're really benefiting from a lot of ability power. Now here we come upon a situation that I found a little bit weird because her crit rating is 1200, but her crit power is 2200, which is the highest crit power in the game. I don't know how crit power is going to be affecting her dots. What is the damage formula calculation for that? So I don't know exactly how that plays out. But with that high crit power, I would actually recommend getting ability power and potentially a little bit of crit rating to make up for the fact that it is not that high. It's only at 1200. But then when you do have your crits, they're going to be dealing a lot of damage with that crit power at 2200. So I'd go ability power and maybe some crit and see how that works out for her. That's probably going to be the way that I'm going to be building her with my echoes and my charms and all of that stuff. Then we also have her at 301 break power, so you're not going to be the best one at breaking yellow gauges, which that's fine. It is whatever, because at the end of the day, you are a support character. But then she also boasts a pretty decent defense, like 2200 physical defense and 2300 magical defense. That's actually pretty good. But overall, this is a very fun character to play. I had a blast when I played her. She has a mobility ability that also drops poison, and then at some points you'll be able to stand on poison clouds, and it'll heal you, and it also heals your allies. She's basically like a warlock and a druid put into one. Like if a warlock was able to convert all of his dots into heals for his team, that'd be her. And that is a very interesting playstyle. It is definitely one of the Wayfinders that I want to build and play because it just seems like it'll be really fun. Now, looking at all of these Wayfinders, hopefully this video helped you figure out which is the one that kind of suits your playstyle a little bit better. And if you guys are curious about which ones I like the most, my list would be number 1, Windrave. Windrave is definitely a beast to play with. I had an absolute blast playing him. Number 2 is Silo, simply because he's got grenades and explosions. He's actually a ton of fun to play, so I want to play him as well. And number 3 is going to be Venomous, simply because I was very surprised at how much I found her whole thing about poisoning everyone and how fun that playstyle was. And these are like the big 3 for me right now. The other 3 I'm not really that interested in. If I was to put them in order, then number 4 would be Senja. Senja's alright. It's not like my favorite, but I'll probably play her at some point. Then Kairos. Kairos is the caster. I usually don't play casters all that much, so it doesn't surprise me that Kairos is the least interesting one for me at this point. Maybe I'll change my mind, because the thing is about these Wayfinders, whenever you swap their weapons, they almost become a different playstyle. And I only ever played Kairos with a scythe, so I need to play Kairos with other weapons and see what kinds of things I can do with him. But like I said, my time was limited on this early access thing, so it is what it is. And then at the end would be Niss. Niss is the least interesting character.
4,000 damage?
I understand that a lot of people like the whole rogue thing and jumping around and darting in and out of combat. I'm not saying she's not fun, but it's just not really my playstyle, so that's why she lands dead last. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, if it helped you in any way, then please, a like would be very appreciated. Subscribe, bell notification icon, all of that jazz for more Wayfinder content, as well as some of the other stuff that I do, like Baldur's Gate, Monster Hunter, Exoprimal, and variety galore. But thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out. This guy knows what he's talking about. 100%. He knows what he's talking about, dude. And I think you should definitely do what he said with hitting the like button, subscribing, doing all of those things. Yeah, you should do that. I'm going to get some of that Venomous gameplay that I built her with Sword and Shield while I'm still nomming, because we're still basically waiting on the queue. Can't wait until they actually fix the friggin' servers to be able to hold on for a little bit longer. Let me see. Is this the one? No, this. There we go. There's Sword and Shield Venomous right there. Look at her go. Found him a bit amateurish. I can't believe you would say that. Playing Niss with a heavy weapon till you can get Senja. That's smart. How does Niss play with a heavy weapon? Do you like it? Dylan, I don't rate games. I think that boiling a game down to a number is a bad thing to do in the industry. Really like it more than I would have thought. Fast on your feet, getting to where those beefy hits are really pulled off. Nice. Don't do it, Nico. Not like this. I'm 4.4 in Q as well. Well, 4.3 right now. I'm still thinking if I want to level up Venomous's weapon. I feel like Silo would be a beast with Venomous's weapon too. Look at how different my Venomous looks, though.
It's about time.
I don't think Sir Snarf has gone to sleep. I think he fell asleep at the office. Yeah, I'm enjoying the game quite a bit when I'm playing it, Gloom Power. It's pretty fun. Did you crash MS Paint Bros? Like, I'm surprised because other than when we went and tried the crossplay thing, which clearly, you know, it's not polished enough yet for you to really dive into that. Other than that, like, the queue's been pretty stable for me. Like, when we started this queue, it was 14,000. Right now it's at 3,800. And when I get into the game, it usually works. No crash, just login failed? Weird.
I've been waiting for this.
Day 5 and they still can't fix the servers? Today is day 3, dude. Game launched 2 days ago. This is the 3rd day. It was delayed 2 days, so 5. The hell does it? So, what is that gonna make Starfield? By the time it releases, is it day 2 years? Like, what the fuck is this logic? Now you can order some sushi. Obrigado pelo conteúdo. Iron AIDS, thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. I usually don't order sushi. Like, I would go pick it up, if anything. But I usually save eating sushi for when I'm with my wife. I love sushi. I don't like eating sushi by myself. I think sushi is a very good meal to eat with somebody else. With a friend, significant other, whatever. I think that is where sushi is in its ideal situation. Like, usually if I'm eating sushi by myself, it would be like supermarket sushi that I picked up. Which, don't get me wrong, we actually have pretty decent supermarket sushi in Portugal in some places. This is a dungeon, Sui. And it's procedurally generated. Bluntman12 forever. Who told you that the delay was because of servers? You must know more things than I do. Here's what I can tell you. The 2-day delay had nothing to do with servers. Because of the technical tests they did with the beta, everything on the server side was reporting to be solid. The problem was, the demand was way more than they expected. And like they said in their message, they received more players in a minute than throughout their whole beta testing period. And that's a little bit much. When guilds get implemented, I'll definitely try to do something with that. And by the way, one of the things that I've noticed, I did a lot of dungeons in the earlier access beta that I got access to. And the procedural generation in the live servers is actually way better than the one that I had in the previous build. Yeah, Wad, I've been playing a lot, bro. I've been playing so much, I can play with my mind while I'm having lunch. By the way, they did unlock my Venomous earlier today, Wada. Right before Kegrin crashed the game on me. It's Kegrin's fault. Kegrin sabotaged this whole stream, dude. Can you believe that? Second time he's done it, too. Wada, see if you can force your way into the settings and turn off crossplay. If you're getting like the thing where the monitor is glitching out, try to force your way into the settings and turn off crossplay. Because crossplay is causing a lot of problems. Because, like, I jumped in with Kegrin into a dungeon. He's playing on PS5. I'm playing on Steam. And that's when the game crashed and I couldn't even try to log back in. And it was a crossplay setting. I love Venomous. She's awesome. Did that fix it, Wada? So is this like an MMO? Say, can I come carry Rui? They do scale you down. When somebody's much higher level, they'll scale you down. It's not really like an MMO, it's more like online RPG. So think more like lobbies and instanced areas than necessarily like full-fledged World of Warcraft. Although they said that's kind of like the direction they want to go in eventually. But yeah, it's instanced areas, always online. I got the Exalted pack. Do I need to go back to the menu to change characters? No. You do it in game. There's a character option in when you hit the pause menu. There's a character option. You can just click that, and it should show the other characters that you already have. However, there have been problems where not everybody's been able to get their Founder Pack items. They're currently working on it. And I can show you guys. There's like this this thing that you can... There's a website where you can go and report if you have problems with that. If you're experiencing problems with not having your stuff. I can grab the link for you real quick. Yeah, this one. If you're experiencing issues, go here. And report like what is happening to you. The fact that you don't have your items or whatever, it'll probably fix it. Is it a video? Yes, it's a video, guys. We're still queuing. We still have 2,000 to go. 2,400. You sent an email and a message to Snarf? Dude, poor Snarf. Snarf's getting like the brunt of this. My man's gonna age like 5 years in the next week. Yeah, my stuff from my pack, which they gave me an Awakened pack, which is the €80 one. That stuff got activated today when I jumped into my first dungeon. It's not 8 minutes. It's too variable to calculate like that. It's a nice estimate, but it's not 8 minutes. I'm considering if I should drink a coffee. I feel like I haven't slept enough to drink a coffee. It'll probably not be wise. Team, should I drink a coffee? It'll probably not be good. I should probably drink tea. I think that would be smarter. I think it would be smarter to drink tea. Wait until the queue, then decide for coffee? No, if the queue pops, I'm not drinking coffee, I'm playing the game. Coffee is exactly for those situations. Yeah, Mr. Charles, the problem is that I haven't been sleeping a lot. Because my stomach issues have been exacerbated with the stress of trying to keep up with every single video game release that's releasing in August 2023. It's fucking insane. Video games need to chill out for a little bit. I think that decaf is actually bad for me. Like, every time I drink decaf, number one, I don't get the same feels that I get from regular coffee. Number two, I fucking hate the taste of decaf. Decaf tastes like all of the worst parts of coffee without any of the good parts. Drinking decaf to me is like, oh, you get none of the flavor, all of the bitterness, and none of the good feels that you get after drinking a fucking coffee. It's like, bro, why the fuck would I do that to myself? It's the same thing as when I was younger, like when I was 18 or whatever, and people were like, oh man, let's drink a beer. And I was like, no, I don't want to drink a beer. Why not? I don't like the way it tastes. They're like, you're not supposed to like the way it tastes. The fuck do you mean? If I don't like the way it tastes, why the fuck would I drink it? Decaf's kind of the same thing. It's like, I don't like the way it tastes. I think it tastes bad. And I've tried multiple different varieties of decaf. It never tastes good. It always tastes like shit. But yeah, it's always been weird to me because I used to, you know, I have friends, and back in the day, my friends would always tell me, you're not supposed to like it. It's like, if you're not supposed to like it, what's the point? You know? That's like the people that are still playing Diablo 4 and keep telling me about how I need to man up and play Diablo 4. And I'm like, fuck do you mean man up and play Diablo 4? I don't like the way the game is going. Why the fuck would I play it? Same thing. I don't like the taste of beer. Why the fuck would I drink it? Guess the point is to get drunk. If you need to get drunk to have fun, I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I'm just different. I don't need to get drunk to have fun. As a matter of fact, I find it more fun to see my friends getting completely blasted. Well, no, blasted is more of a reference to when you're high on drugs, right? I think that's the way that it goes with slang. But yeah, I've had a lot of friends that would always get completely wasted. They'd do the dumbest shit. Like, one of my friends once called me at like fucking 3 in the morning. Calls me at 3 in the morning telling me, I'm driving home and I'm drunk and I need somebody to keep me company. I'm like, all right. So I'm listening to this guy talk about shit at 3 in the morning. He's a very good friend of mine. Don't get me wrong, he's like my brother. But at one point, he's like, oh, I'm at this coffee place that I don't like. I'm going to take a piss on their gate. And I was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? He's like literally drunken out of his mind, stops the car in the middle of the road, starts taking a piss in some random coffee's door. Okay. It's like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? Yeah, drunk people do some dumb shit. How do I play other players on PS5 in this game? Thomas Conley, I would recommend not engaging in crossplay right now, because that is actually not working all too well. But how do you play it? You just, you find your friends. There's a friend code in the social tab. You insert their friend code, and it works. You can also brew a little coffee with water that's not so hot. You'll extract much less caffeine and coarser grains, and still enjoy the hot beverage and the taste without getting your heart rate too high. Huh. So you're telling me to water down the coffee a little. Well, see, that's the thing. The heart rate too high is precisely the problem that I have, because when you don't sleep, like any activity that you do, your heart rate just goes fucking ballistic. And especially because I've been doing the Eric's workouts, like, due to the fact that I haven't been sleeping all that much, and then I start working out, every little thing that I do in the workout, my heart just goes like, it's like, Jesus Christ. Age is probably a thing too, but yeah. I wish D4 Battle Pass was like Wayfinder. I wish all Battle Passes were like Wayfinders. Although I will say that the game that gets credit for starting that, I think, was probably Halo Infinite who did it first. The never expiring Battle Passes. But to me, that is actually the one thing where I'll be like, you know what? I don't mind that much. Usually I fucking load battle passes, but if the battle pass never expires, that's a different thing. I'm still not a huge fan of it, but at least I can kind of like tolerate it better. Oh, this is what a tracer event is. I need to find one of those in game. How do I check my battle pass in Wayfinder? You go to the pause menu and there's something there called the reward tower. And the way that it works is just like playing the game and earning EXP also gains you battle pass EXP. So you don't have to do anything specific, from what I can tell, to win the battle pass. It's more so you just play the game and you get the battle pass. You know, unlike some other games where it's like, oh no, why don't you do a handstand and grab your cock and then we'll give you some favor for your battle pass. Okay, now that you've done that, bash your head into a wall. Okay, good job. This is a little bit more favor. Now go ahead and go vacuum your house. And when you're done vacuuming your house, we'll give you a little bit more favor. It's like, bro, fuck out of here. I don't want you to min-max my enjoyment of the game. That was so ridiculous, dude. And the people defending that in that video that I made, man, fuck you. Like, what the fuck, bro? Imagine defending that shit. Side quests give you more EXP for reward tower. Yeah, they do. They do. So side quests do provide you a little bit more. But I think just doing anything gives you EXP for it. Can you pick your route for the reward tower? Yes, you can. It is not predetermined. It's actually like a little board game. I had it up earlier. Do I still have it up? Oh, yeah, I do. It's like a little board game. Like, you see... Can I see this? I actually don't show it. Let's see if I can open the image. Like, you see, it's like a little board game. So, you start here. And this is the next floor. And so you'll get here, you'll get this reward, then you can go this way or you can go this way. And then once you get here, you can go this way or this way. So it has multiple paths that you can take. But ultimately, you want to at least get here because that takes you to the next floor. And then the next floor, you have like somewhat similar layout. But yeah, it's pretty much like a little board game. I like the color scheme on your Windrave. The one that I have in live looks very different from this one, but this color scheme is pretty badass. The one that I have in live has white armor, black trim, red secondary, and the same golden emissives. Can you reset your progress on the battle pass? No, I don't think so. I think once you go a certain route, you're committed. But the idea is that you collect everything on the battle pass over the course of you playing the game. You are so lucky to be able to play this. I will be, maybe. I was actually surprised how much the live version of the game has improved on what you guys are seeing here. There's loads of quality of life improvements and just overall feel of the game. How many players max? 3 players co-op. However, there will be encounters, which are going to be like world bosses and stuff, which will require more than 3 players. But the party size is still going to be 3. It's just, there's going to be multiple parties there. Looks like the queue on PC is shorter than PS5. No, I've just been waiting for longer than you have. When I started on queue, it was on 14,000. Yeah, deactivate crossplay, guys. You definitely need to deactivate crossplay for the time being, which sucks because the problem is that a lot of people are going to deactivate crossplay and they're never going to turn it back on again. Because people just forget. So, even after the devs say, hey, we fixed crossplay, you can turn it back on again, a lot of people will never turn it back on. That's going to suck so much. And by the way, you can deactivate crossplay without even getting in the game. It's on the settings menu before you start queuing. So is the queue better on PS5? No, it's the same queue for everyone, guys. Does that really make a difference, the crossplay thing? Yeah. Earlier I couldn't even launch the game. I couldn't even start queuing without disabling crossplay. Because it glitched so bad. They'll need to push an update to enable crossplay by default again when they do it. They better be 100% sure that shit's working though, because that was a nasty bug that we got because of the crossplay. Like the crossplay issue, straight up, the screen was just like flickering. It was downright friggin' seizure inducing. Damn, you're already 30, bro? Oh, I'm 30 on all of them. On all the Wayfinders. Get on my level. I'll tell you one better. I'm level 30 and I'm not even logged in. Not even logged in. My mind is connecting directly to the Digital Extreme servers. And 30 in every weapon and artifact. Yep. Yep. I'm joking. Please don't be upset. Listen, it's just we get that question so much that I have to meme on it a little bit. Views on Senja? Senja seems like really fun, but Senja is going to be a character that, in my opinion, is going to require a significant amount of skill. Because Senja is kind of like the greatsword of Wayfinders, where you really need to be able to read your enemies so that you can use her showboating abilities, which require you to actually, like, hold inputs. And while you're holding those inputs, you're vulnerable. She takes less damage, but she's still vulnerable. So the way in which you charge her up and do all of that stuff is going to require quite a bit of practice. Level 42 here? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Especially because level 30 is the cap. Senja my main with daggers and pure weapon power. Daggers? Interesting. See, I feel like Senja would benefit more from like a beefy two-hander. Simply because she's going to be more about dealing burst. And daggers are more about constant DPS. So I don't know. I hope it works. That's one of the beautiful things about Wayfinders. You can put whatever character with whatever weapon. Okay, team. Let's see if we get in. This is it. The moment of truth. The moment of truth. Please don't explode, game. Not like this. I'd give her a shotgun. Interesting. Senja with a gun. I don't think Senja would be very good with a gun, because you need to go in melee range. Well, then again, if you're using the shoddy, maybe. Because you need to go into melee range to use the showboating skills. Here we go. Here we go. Have faith. Have faith, my fellow Wayfinders. Are we gonna get in? Please! Let me in! Let me in! Come on now. No! Shitballs. And is it straight to the back of the queue? Fuck me. Nah, man. Nope. Sorry, fam. Doesn't look like these servers are ready for us just yet. So, yeah. Shit's rough. Let me just do something here real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, end of queue disconnect. Servers are way too unstable right now. There's probably too many people logging in and they're completely overloading everything. So here's what I'm gonna do. Boop. Use part 16. And let's give it a nice clean 1 hour break. Feel like. Okay. And done. Now I just go here, edit, customization, redirect. Boom. Okay, so here's what's happening, team. We're gonna be playing some Baldur's Gate because, you know, there's too many good games to play right now to be upset over the one game that you can't play. So we're going to be playing some Baldur's Gate pretty soon. I already created another stream. Once I end this stream, you guys will be automatically redirected because I'm not going to sit in queue for another like 2 hours or whatever to get over this. So we'll try this again tomorrow or something. Thank you all very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.